Good afternoon, YouTube. Got a couple kind of big updates here. So I sold the Savoy, and it's still here though because the feller that bought it, he came down. He drove about an hour, but he was really interested in it. He paid me, signed it over, etc. Blah blah blah. But he's coming back in a couple days to pick that up. I still have to talk to him about exactly when. Second big news: we're going to go pick up a new project. So I'm packing up tools. I'm going to grab this bag out of the courier and my little import metric toolkit here. I'm also going to grab some gas, multimeter, probably some extra wiring stuff. And we're going to head up there. It's about 20 minutes away, which is why I really wanted to pick it up. But you will see the big reveal very soon, maybe in the past, maybe in the future. Not really sure when these videos are going to air and everything. I didn't end up fixing the brakes completely. So at the end, back a few days ago, I realized that it was that back brake line going into the two lines, passenger and driver side with the hose and everything. I am including a brake line for the feller and that brake hose and everything, but he's going to finish it. Basically, it just got out of the project what I wanted to get out of it. I figured out what was wrong with it, and we're moving it on. So we're going to go pick up something new, so we're going to go do that now. All right, I think I got pretty much everything a man could need. I got my lonely guy switch, I got a bunch of wrenches, I got a funnel, I got a little bit of a gas squirter, some PB blast, some carb cleaner. I made a little electrical box, but I also have some vacuum cap dudes. Got to swing by the O'Reilly, and then we'll be heading up in that direction. All right, I am in beautiful Boonville, Indiana, and my seatbelt is not on. I forgot to put it on, but don't tell the cops. Anyway, so I'm at this guy's house. I already bought this truck, and I asked him if I could film, and he's not being weird about me filming, but he's super nice, super nice guy. I'm not speaking ill upon him in any way, shape, or form, but he just like won't stop talking to me while I'm working on it. So like, and I'm also not trying to be like weird. I don't know if he wants to be like I said, he told me I could film, but I don't know if he wants to be on camera, and the conversation is just kind of weird. So anyway, I had to go to AutoZone to pick up a couple things. There's some serious hackery going on this truck, which is sort of to be expected for the price that I got it. But anyway, I had to go get some battery cables because the battery cable terminals are just missing on the battery cables. And then the way that he or whoever cut the wires at whatever point, I can't even get them on the terminals of the battery. So I went and got some new, I went and got a positive and a negative, but they're both black. They're both Darth Vader flavor, which I don't love because I'm not familiar with the truck. But I'm going to put a piece of red tape on the positive one, and then if I can get some footage here in a minute, I'm going to try to. My goal is to, me and my wife have a friend here in town. She lives like 5 minutes away. I'm going to try to drive this truck to her house, and then she's going to take me back to my car, and then, not my car, but my Sequoia, which is not really a car, but it's also not really a truck. Anyway, I'm going to drive the truck to her house, and then she's going to take me back to get my Sequoia, and then I'm going to try to drive this truck home, pick up my wife, and then drive back here, hopefully also in the truck, to pick up my car. So anyway, that's the plan right now. Sorry, I haven't. I'm trying to basically do a will it run without filming anything, but it's weird. So anyway, see you in a minute. Okay, so this is a 1986 Mazda B2000. Here's what I'm talking about with these wires. So I'm gonna try to get this laced up. I'm gonna throw some fuel in the carburetor, see if it fires off. If it does fire, it's a fuel problem. I'm gonna replace this filter, try to see if that helps. If that doesn't help, I'm gonna put a gas can in the passenger seat. We're gonna try to drive this thing to my friend's house. First thing I gotta do is figure out which wire's which. So I'm cutting all these OEM zip ties, and then I'll zip tie them back up if I need to. There's all kinds of vacuum lines and gobbledygook on this thing. But we're gonna figure it out, am I right? All right. So figuring it out which side is the positive here, going to the starter solenoid. Once we get over to my friend's house, I'll give you a full walk around and kind of show you exactly what I did and everything. But all right, I don't want to be too weird at this guy's house. His wife and kids are home and everything, so I'm just gonna try to get these battery cables laced up real quick, and then I'll pull you guys back in when I throw some fuel in the carburetor. All right, not very exciting. Basically, it's got some electrical issues. I think it might need a new starter. Basically, I just don't know. I am very dirty though from crawling around on the gravel, but I'm just gonna tow it home tomorrow, and then we're gonna work on it in the morning. So I'm just gonna go ahead and order a new starter because they're only like $75. I put new battery cables on it at the guy's house, but it was just cranking really slow, and I was just sick of messing with it. It's also supposed to thunderstorm, and I was just in this dude's gravel driveway. So anyway, we'll be back on it in the morning. All right, see you in the morning. All right, well, sadly, I couldn't get this thing running in the previous owner's driveway, but we got it here at the house. I ended up just paying a tow truck. I was going to tow it myself, just rent one of those cheap U-Haul trailers, but by the time I waited around and paid for that and et cetera, I spent a couple extra bucks and I just got it towed here. So here's a quick walk around. This is a terrible wrap that someone did at some point. This will all come off. It's rattle canned. Yeah, anyway. So yesterday I put new battery cables on it, and I got it to kind of sort of crank a little bit, but then it just kept clicking. So I guess it could be I googled around. We'll get to it, but anyway, we're gonna pop this thing open and start trying to get this thing to run. We'll do a proper walk around, but it's not really, it's kind of rusty. It's got a couple rust spots. I got this thing for cheap, so it's complete. I don't know the full story, but I'll give you what I do know. So the guy that I bought it from, I guess bought it in April. He drove it around, and then one day he was driving home and it died. I was thinking maybe fuel. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but that fuel filter is dirty. It's dirtier than something dirty, I guess. Anyway, it's got all the gobbledygook on it, all the smog, EGR crap. Engine bay is disgusting. The clutch works, the brakes work. I haven't even checked the coolant, to be honest. Coolant looks great. No milkshake. It's full and it's green. And it's also not on there good. Looks like I might need a new radiator cap. Great. Okay, anyway. Nope, never mind. Fixed it. Okay, so this is the ground. I tried to just kind of ghetto rig some stuff. And then here's my new positive that's also black. AutoZone only had black battery cables, Darth Vader style cables. So I'm gonna put a piece of red tape on this so I don't forget. I'm gonna solder up some wires. So this goes to the fuse box. Here's a really big problem. It looks like, I don't know if the guy that I bought it from did it, or this is the main fuse, I guess. And it looks like somebody tried to pull it out, but I guess it's screwed in at the bottom, like it's a male doohickey thingy. So we're gonna pull this fuse box off. We're gonna solder up some ground wires. I also bought a new starter. It might be the starter. So anyway, let me get my soldering iron out and fix all this wiring, and then we'll replace that fuse. And then if that doesn't work, we're gonna move on to the starter, and then we will address fuel. All right, so I'll probably just do a time lapse of me soldering wires and fixing wires and everything, because that's not very exciting. But if I run into something kind of exciting, I'll show you guys what's going on. The ground all soldered up. I'm using my heat gun here. It's the right tool for the job. So I might move this into the garage because the lighting's so weird. So this wire right here goes to this main engine box, fuse box. Of course, why in the heck is it black? I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart, replace this fuse, and then this wire needs to be soldered to the positive wire. So one could assume that this could very well be part of our problem, because I guess this main fuse has something to do with the ignition, like it goes into the ignition circuit or something. I'm not super familiar with these Mazdas yet, but I've been Googling around, and I very well think that this could be the problem. All the terminals missing and everything, I don't know when that happened. I don't know if the guy was like not being honest or what. But anyway, I'm gonna take this fuse box off now, replace this fuse, and then figure out how to get this wire to connect to my newly red colored positive cable. Okay, so these just pop off. I just pried it with a knife. Yeah, that's it. And then there's a 10mm bolt that holds it in, and then there's one on each side, and then that holds your fuse in. I think I'm gonna make a new, this is the positive. No, I'm not gonna make a new one. I'm just gonna fix this. Yeah, I don't need to make a new one. So I'm gonna pop this off, replace this fuse, and then put everything back together, solder this to the positive, and then we'll see if it'll crank. All right, here's the new one. Here's the old one. They match. And then you just slide that back in here. I don't know if it really does anything, but I'm gonna spray all of this down with this deoxit stuff. It's not gonna hurt. Okay, that's good enough. My neighbor came over. Different neighbor this time. Kid that lives next door. He's kind of a car guy, kid. Anyway, I'll show you what I did, and then I'll show you what's going on. So the lighting's a lot more consistent in here. Anyway, so I ran a new ground to the chassis, and then this is the positive cable that went straight to this main 80 amp fuse. I soldered that together, and then I ran, like I said, I ran these positive and negative battery cables yesterday. I'm gonna have to replace the starter, so I just don't know what else to try. I was hoping it was just gonna be that big old chonky fuse, but when I put the key to start, oh, I disconnected the battery cables. So when you connect the battery cables and then you put the key to not start, but run or on or whatever, I will show you what happens. So I'm getting lights, which I was also getting lights yesterday. Yeah, I actually heard a click that time, but here's what happens when I try to start it. So I don't think it's wiring, because, you know, the fuse is brand new fuse, got a brand new wire going to the starter, got a brand new engine ground. I reinforced the chassis ground. There's actually 2 ground wires, one going from the battery and then coming back into this, basically back to the chassis. So I should have, that should be good. This battery, I just charged it, it's reading 13.7 volts. And it's basically a brand new battery. I had it in the Plymouth. So I am going to jack this thing up, and we're gonna put a new starter in it. I am drinking one of my wife's strawberry vanilla Ollie Pops. Only 3 grams of sugar. It's too early for adult beverages. So let's take a starter out. I think it's going to be terrible because of where it is placed. But luckily, we are on garage floor, so we can... Let's do it. All right, I feel pretty good about that. I wish I could get to the starter from up here, but it's not worth taking off all this gobbledygook. So I will maybe film a little bit of me taking this thing off, but it's not really going to be very exciting, and you're not going to be able to see anything. So I'm just going to get to it. I think it's like two or three 14 millimeter bolts, or 12 or 13 or something. I don't know. I'm going to get down there and pull this thing off. I'm like 30 minutes into this, and I haven't even gotten one bolt out. So I got a breaker bar here, and then I wedged this, the backside 17, the front's 9, and I wedged this up in here between the slave cylinder and the transmission. But I've almost got the first bolt off. I think there's only 2 bolts. Hopefully the second bolt doesn't give me as much trouble. All right, I've almost got this. I think it's just 2 bolts. I've almost got this one off. It's a 14 millimeter. I still have to disconnect the solenoid from the positive and then take the other wire off, but we're almost there. Well, hot dog, this thing is whipping me. There's another bolt. I don't even know why I'm trying to show it to you. It's back there in friggin' Florida. No idea how I'm gonna get to it, but yeah, so it's basically the one back here. So I'm gonna figure that out. That's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, I got all 3 bolts off, but the starter is just stuck. And I'm trying to just like beat it loose. We're almost there. It's I hope that you never have to change the starter on a Mazda B2000. Okay, it's out. I think, yeah, we're looking good on correct part thing. There's a lot of oil and stuff on this. I mean, apparently the valve cover was leaking. It looks like it's still leaking. The whole truck leaks a little bit from everywhere, but I'm gonna bet that this is the original starter. I don't see anything on it or anything, but it looks very old. So let's get this new starter in. I'm not going to film any of this. It's not really going to be very exciting, but if I run into something interesting, I will. It's like 2 hours later, so I mean, I guess 2 hours isn't the worst. I'm putting some red tape on this positive down here, just so if I'm ever down here again and I have to disconnect the starter and the ground, the body engine ground, I know what I'm looking at. I got the other end, the ground clipped back onto the solenoid. I just got to connect this to the top of the solenoid, and then we're going to see what happens, see if this thing will actually crank. If this doesn't make it crank, I have basically no idea, but we will figure it out. Well, this is the moment of truth. See if this thing cranks. All right. Nothing. Well, that felt different. Well, hot friggin' dog. All right, well. Woo! Woo! Yes. All right. So, it actually ran for a second. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna lower it back down, and then we're gonna start messing with fuel, all right? So this is great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace this fuel filter, and then I guess I'll just try to put some fresh gas in it. The fuel pump might not work also, so that might be a thing. It's a mechanical fuel pump, but I got a clickety-clack, so let's try, yeah, let's replace the fuel filter and then put some fresh gas in it. If it pumps a bunch of crap, I mean, I'm thinking that the gas tank might be full of crap. But the fuel filter might fix it, sort of, kind of. But I think that's just the move. Because supposedly this thing ran like 3 weeks ago. So between the wiring and then that fuse being busted, and the guy that I bought it from probably not actually telling me the entire story of why it didn't run, let's try that first. That seems like because I'd like to use this fuel tank and I'd like to not install a clickety-clack. But yeah, the fuel pump, I can go get a new fuel pump and put a new fuel pump in it if the fuel pump is bad. Fuel pump. Oh yeah, another thing I should do, I'm gonna check the oil. Yesterday it was kind of low, but I put more in it and it's still low. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, I don't know, put another half quart or something in it, I guess, maybe, something like that. I'm not really getting that accurate of a reading because I can't get it to run. But yeah, I'm gonna just put another quart or so in it. So I had a half a quart from yesterday. I put 1.5 quarts in it yesterday. If I'm overfilling it, I'll change the oil later. I don't know. I can't get a reading. Oh God, I'm spilling oil all over myself. And then if we can get this thing to run and idle for a little bit, I guess I'll just kind of see what it does. All right, I got 2 fuel filters. Spectre Performance fuel filter. So let's get this old one off of here. All right, so I don't understand. Okay, this is going to the carburetor, so how does it go? I don't understand where does it go into the carburetor at? Because there's the fuel pump. Is the fuel pump like directly connected to the dang carburetor? What? Okay, I don't know if you can see this. So this line connected to this goes to from the fuel pump into this, and then this says to carb this way. So does it go like directly from the fuel pump into the carburetor? I guess I can try to figure that out later after I get it. I don't know. I'm just gonna put the fuel filter back the same way that it came, I guess. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna follow what's already here for now, and if that seems to be a problem, then we'll figure that out after we try this. So, gotta figure out what the inlet and the outlet is. Okay, so this is in, and then, okay, so this is going to the carburetor, so it's gonna go like this, because in theory, yes, that makes sense. I'm sure it does. All right. Yeah, this line coming from the hard line going from the fuel tank is awfully toasty. Cool. Oh, never mind. Oh, great. There's no gas cap. That could be a thing. Wow. Well, I'm gonna have to run and go get a gas cap. I feel like this vehicle is modern enough that it not having a gas cap could very well be a thing. So for sure, we're gonna see what happens here and then go get a gas cap and probably just get some more gas too. All right, that's as much as I can get in there. Here we go. Well, hold on. Let's move this stuff. Here we go. Whoa, she's smoking real bad. That could just be because it hasn't ran in months and there's probably water and shit in the gas tank. I guess it could be a head gasket too, but I didn't see any milkshake, so we're just gonna pray that that's just because it hasn't ran in a long time, okay? All right, I'm just gonna let it idle for a while. Fuel gauge says about a quarter of a tank, so seems like it's idling high. It's still smoking, but I feel like maybe it's not smoking as bad. We're just gonna let it idle for a while. Okay, well, I need a new radiator cap. It was flanging radiator sauce, and it started idling really high too. I wish I wouldn't have turned the camera off, but yeah, I mean, that's all green. So, head gasket seems... Head gasket seems like, I mean, maybe a possibility, but... Alright, I think that's on there good. Oh, that's a a thing I will probably try to see if O'Reilly's has. Vacuum leaks, I mean, sure, yes. For sure there's vacuum leaks. Maybe I should turn it on again now that I have this on. The smoke is worrisome, but there's no reason for me to think. I guess I could check the oil again. Let's do that. I feel like it maybe idled long enough to, oh, great. Maybe. I feel like maybe there's way too much oil in this thing now. So maybe gas cap, radiator cap, oil change. No. What the heck? I mean, I know there's only, maybe there's only the oil that I put in it. Yeah, I mean, it's below low. Do I have another quart? Or maybe I could at least put the rest of that in it. All right, I'm thinking, now that we've heard it run, let's do oil change, radiator cap, gas cap. I'm gonna go to O'Reilly and get that stuff, I think. I'm back. What I think I'm gonna do, so I got a radiator cap, I got some Berry Man, and then I got some oil, but they didn't have an oil filter and they didn't have a gas cap at the location closest to my house. But they're coming from the hub and they're gonna be here in about an hour and 20 minutes-ish. So during that hour and 20 minutes-ish, I'm gonna try to put the front grille back together, see what I'm missing up here. I think maybe some of the lights are in there, sort of, maybe, kind of. And then we're gonna peel this crap off of here. And then maybe, I don't know, pressure wash it or something, but maybe not. We'll do that next time. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Here, I've already done that much. So yeah, I'm gonna put this grill back together and see what we need or don't need. As you can see, grill stuff missing. There's a box of parts. Well, not very many parts. I thought there was a headlight somewhere, but maybe not. I don't know what this crap is. Some kind of intake stuff or something. I know I have, like, I guess the shroud or whatever, the valance. And then the actual grill itself. It's hard to pick up with one hand. And then I'm maybe, oh God. So we're gonna try to get this stuff back on. Oh God. There's a big whoopty right here that I don't really think is fixable. And I gotta get all these stupid stickers and crap off of here too. But yeah, so let me look for parts and then we'll see what we can do with this front grill valance situation. I got headlights and then I got one of the turn signal housings. I don't really know how this works, obviously. Oh, I'll bet this might be the one that got whooped on. Maybe. Great. So the wiring harness for the light is not, I don't know, yeah, so these would be turn signals. Yeah, the whole wiring harness for that, oh, they had taped it off. So I'm gonna need something to whip this up, so maybe I'll take a picture of this. It's like a 3-pin, it's just a 2-pin jobber. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of this so I can see if O'Reilly's has it or if I'm gonna have to order. And then I don't know what this spring is for. There's none over there. I might have to do some Googling to kind of finalize this. And then this one is missing the little housing or whatever that it goes into, but I might be able to just like make something or weld something on or something. All right, I guess I'll start with this headlight because I need to put this on there. And then I think that the shroud for that one is missing, but maybe it's with all this other crap. Also, I don't know if any of this stuff works either, because the wiring in this thing is a nightmare. But, yeah, so I'm just going to start doing stuff. Unhook my negative battery cable. I'm just going to start doing stuff and see what I can figure out. Accidentally did some time lapses, but the headlights work. Here, I'll show you. The headlights work, the turn signals work, all of the lights, I think, or at least most of them work. I don't know if the brake lights work yet, but so here's the headlights, brights, left turn signal, right turn signal, and they work in the back too, so that's friggin' awesome. Hot dog. Okay, so that's all put back together-ish. I guess I could try to temporarily mount this in here. I don't really want to make a plate or anything for it right now. I think I'm just gonna zip tie it for now. Alright, so I got that on. I used 2 random screws from a IKEA picture hanging kit, and they kind of sort of worked. And then this thing is still floppy, but I don't think it's going anywhere. I'm missing this little doodabber. Seems like there should maybe be some doodabbers down here, but there ain't. But this is also supposed to be held on by this housing, but I don't know. It's not going anywhere. There's 3 screws holding it in. Oh, I guess I could put another one in here. So then there would be 4 screws holding it in. And then, yeah. So we're doing great. I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna just push it. I don't want to run it until I get that gas cap and get the oil changed. I'm just gonna push it outside, and then we're gonna clean it up. I do have this radiator cap. That is just wrong, so that's cool. So we will be returning that one. I guess we'll just take this one with us. Yeah, that's not even close. Great. I probably won't be able to get one of those today, so that sucks, because I really want to try to drive this thing. Here we go. Ugh. There we go. I got some goo gone. I'm just gonna spray the stickers with said goo gone. And then most of this stuff seems like it'll just peel off with my little fingies. And then I also found the rear mirrors. So I'm gonna just spray all the stickers with goo gone. Should help at least. And then I got some plastic drywall thingies. Yep. I'm obviously not that worried about the paint. Alright, people keep coming to talk to me. That was a delivery driver that had the wrong house. And then my wife called me, she's on her way home. And then the feller that bought the Plymouth is coming here in 2 or 3 hours. Incredible Hulk. Oh, great. Also, I don't know what to deal with this half racing stripe. It also goes, I don't know if, I love this. What do we call this? Patina? All right, next step, before we move on to the inside, that's a like 10 or an 11 millimeter. I'm gonna put the original, whatever, rear view mirrors on. Okay, well, I got this on, kind of. We're missing 2 bolts. So I just did this, and then I zip tied this to this, and then I tightened the bolts a lot. So this one's on. Okay, well, I got this temporarily, permanently mounted, maybe. So now let's deal with all of this. Iron Man. Man, they sure did do a great job at doing this for no reason. Okay. I love that it ripped it more than it was already ripped, too. That's great. And then, I don't know what this is for, but it's going in the trash. Mazda. Okay, might as well see if there's any treasures back here. Yeah, no treasures. The seat's also not bolted in, so that's cool. I love that. Okay, so how much time do I have? I only got about 25 minutes, so maybe I'll just throw away all this trash. And then when I get back, Guy's coming to get this Plymouth. So I'm at least gonna hang out here until he gets it. And then we'll finish whatever we don't get done today, we'll do it tomorrow. So let me clean all this trash out of here and then go get my oil change stuff. Well, this bed is toast. Cardboard is a great addition. I'm not really that mad about it though. I don't. Maybe we'll try to find another bed for it or something, or just run it. It's weird that how toasty the bed is in comparison to the rest, but we're just for now just gonna pretend that we didn't see this and carry on about our day. All right, I'm back from O'Reilly. I bit the bullet and I just bought a battery. This battery is going with the Plymouth. It was part of the deal. So I'm gonna slap this back in the Plymouth, and then we're gonna change the oil, and then maybe we'll go on a test drive. I also got some more gas. Gasoline. I went ahead and not all the way, but I loosened the oil filter to make sure that the oil filter wasn't cranked down to hell. So yeah, I'm gonna climb under there. I'm not gonna, I mean, you know, oil changes are oil changes. If I run into something interesting, I'll pull you back in, but oil changes aren't too exciting. Nothing weird, no milkshake, no water. Just smells like old oil. It's draining right now. I'm gonna pop the filter in a second. And then it's 4.12 quarts, and then the recommendation is 5W30, I think. Yeah, 5W30. Pretty regular small engine stuff. Sounds like it's almost done draining. Amateur pro tip, gaff tape, like gaffer's tape. You can get it on Amazon or different places. On these black filters, it gives you a little bit more grip when you're tightening it, and then you can write on it, and it won't go anywhere. It's like a really strong, good tape. Anyway, yeah, pro tip, gaff tape on your oil filters. All right, I'm gonna do the old funnel out of the bottle trick, because I don't have a funnel. Hopefully I don't cut myself. Oh yeah! There's a switch in the cab to open up your gas can lock. I'm sure it doesn't work. Hopefully it does, because it... What the heck? There we go. I'm going to spray that with some PB Blast. Let's see if this gas cap works. It does! Yay! Okay, I'm going to put some more gas in this. Oh. Spill it all over the place. Oh God. This sucks. Well, that's a lot of gas on the floor. There's the little thing, you know, to basically make it so that you can't do this. Yeah, this one's got, you know, the thing, the squeezy thing, that's like, that honestly usually makes you spill more gas than if it just didn't have the thing. All right. I don't know, it was like a gallon or two, maybe-ish. Alright, I guess we'll see if this thing starts again. Okay. Great. I got oil all over the floor. I made a huge mess today. I'm gonna have to clean this up tomorrow. All right, here we go, I guess. Wait, what did I do with the keys? Oh, I threw them on the ground by the oil. Cool. Okay. Let's see if she'll run. I'm trying to think of what I... Oh, gas cap. Yeah, I put that back on. I tried to fix the radiator cap, so we'll see if... The one I got earlier didn't work, so... kind of fixed it. I obviously also, it doesn't have a tack either. Sounds like a vacuum leak. I was worried it was a knock, but it's just this vibrating. Hey, it's not smoking anymore. I gave it too much onion and I killed it. So we're gonna try to see if it'll fire back up. Maybe I might have flooded it. I mean, I for sure flooded it. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for today. Maybe not the end of the video, but that's going to be it for today. We're going to keep figuring it out. Howdy there. So yeah, yesterday we got this thing running, and I'm going to test the brake lights, and then we're going to see if I can drive it. I mean, I guess I need to see if the clutch goes in gear and everything, but yeah, so first step is brake lights. I'm not going to take it very far, because I think my theory is that the fuel tank has a bunch of crusties in it, and that's what's making it die. I guess also a really common problem, I did a bunch of research last night on some forums and Reddit and everything about these Mazda 2.0s. I guess it's the Mazda FE. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And apparently they all kind of, the rings, I guess, get really tired and they burn oil, which also could explain why this thing was really low on oil, and also could explain why it's making a terrible knocking sound that I hope isn't in the bottom end, but probably is. Like, I think it might have a rod knock, but it might also be valve train. The exhaust is also loud and it idles really high. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing yet, but the first thing that we are going to try to do is to take it for a test drive and sort of see what happens. Even if I can just go up and down, my street is a dead-end street. Even if I can just kind of go up and down the street a couple times, I'll be happy with that. We might just need to, you know, let her eat and let the dogs hunt outside to see if maybe some of that noise might clear up, kind of. The Courier, she was pretty noisy, and after running it for a while and actually driving it, it kind of went away. It had a kind of valve tick, and I don't know. Anyway, let's see if the brake lights work, and then let's take this for a little spin. So I would assume that the brake lights would work just with the key on, and I figured the easiest way to see if they work or not was to just close the garage door. Oh, I guess I gotta hook the battery back up. That would probably help. Yep. So, okay, let's see if these brake lights work. One brake light, I think, works, and the other one doesn't. I don't know if I want to solve that problem right now or not. Could be wiring, it could be ground, and hell, it could just need a new bulb. But yeah, I don't. One of them works. That's fine to drive it up and down the block. Like I said, my street's a dead-end street. Step one, let's see if it'll even start today. Hey, I mean, I'll take it. It'll shift into reverse. Helps if you have the parking brake off. Okay, I had to tighten up the seats and scoot the seat forward because I'm a small boy. But it's been idling now for probably, I don't know, 10 minutes-ish. So we're gonna, hopefully my GoPro doesn't get all floppy. I broke it, so I broke the stand. I got it good enough. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so we're just gonna see what happens here. The brakes are a little squishy, but they're not the best brakes, but they're not the worst. I need to spray some dang lubricant on this dang parking brake thing. I feel like, there we go. I feel like every old truck I've ever had with a little parking brake, man. My in gear. All right. I think the clutch needs some love too. It's a little loosey-goosey. Whoa, the throttle pedal is super touchy, and the clutch kind of sucks, so it's sort of a bad combination. But I'm driving it. I'm just creeping. We're just going down to the end of the block. I'm gonna turn around in somebody's driveway. I can push it from here, so. Risk it a little bit more. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. We'll do the little loop-de-doo that we did in the Courier. No, we're not. The brakes feel awful, so I'm not gonna risk that. They're worse than the Courier's brakes. They're as bad as the Courier's brakes were before I fixed them, so we're not gonna do that yet. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. There's the courier, and there's his cousin, the Mazda kind of total piece of crap truck I bought 3 days ago. But hey, you know, mini trucks are cool. We'll get her there. All right, well, that's gonna be it for this episode. We got t-shirts, we got cups, we got trucks that we got to put parts on. So consider supporting us on Patreon. Really, at the end of the day, if you could just like, subscribe, watch, share these videos, that'd be great. I appreciate it. We're gonna keep figuring it out.